Hey, welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about the one thing that you can do right now, today, to actually start getting pages down and actually finish your screenplay. I know a lot of you that follow my channel probably have 20 or 30 pages of a script finished or less. You might be stuck in that outline phase constantly, spinning your wheels and trying to make progress, but you're constantly frustrated with the story and it just isn't working. And I think I've been there and it's very frustrating, right? No matter what you're doing, it's not working. And what this does is it builds up this frustration, right? You're frustrated and you're tense and you're not writing. And then rather than liking to write, or rather than, finding any sort of joy in it at all, you think about it as a task that you have to do, and that every time you sit down, it's just tension and stress and frustration because you're not making any progress. And this is something that I've seen again and again and again. And there is a clear fix to this, right? So, there's a lot of tactics thrown around, and some of those tactics are good, right? Like, consistency and habits. Many of the things I teach in my course, or part of my course, is about this, right? About setting up habits, about, creating an environment to write, these sorts of things. But there's one core thing that I also teach and want you to realize about your writing and about how it works, right? You take in all this information, all these books, all these videos, you watch my videos and whoever else's, and then you try to immediately apply all of this knowledge, right? Like directly into the page that you're working on right now. And it ultimately doesn't work. And then this is how you get frustrated and you get tense and you get writer's block and you procrastinate and all of these things, right? But what I found for me and for the writers that I've helped is that when you finally decide, okay, this is not going to work anymore, I cannot write, I will never write well, and you essentially give up, then you're able to write. Because as long as you are holding yourself to this sort of like egoic standard of, writing excellence or writing perfection or whatever you want to call it, while you're actually just trying to do the creative work, this is how you get nowhere. And this is how you stay stressed and you stay frustrated. And then you go a year with 20 pages worth of a screenplay and then feel frustrated all over again because you didn't make any progress, and it's just this constant thorn in your head. But once you give up, you'll be surprised at how fast you can write. Once you give up, you'll be surprised how many pages you can put down in a single day. And many people hate this idea, right? Because they say, no, spend 3 years on your screenplay, make it perfect, focus on, creating the perfect screenplay. But this is just not possible. And what your goal should be is to learn and to get the story out, right? Because this whole idea of like what the perfect story is all this sort of idea in your head that also isn't clear. You actually don't know what the perfect version of your story is, but you have this sort of abstract idea out there somewhere that, okay, this story needs to be so perfect, but you don't even know how to write a story at all. So you have to start somewhere with something, and then you get better and then you fix it, right? This is the core idea that I have tried to communicate in regards to writing process, right? Is that I can give you all these sorts of videos about how stories work and how stories operate. And I think those videos can be fantastic when you're in the outlining phase. And in the course, I also talk about rewriting and how to actually apply all these concepts that I'm talking about on my YouTube channel in the rewriting process so you can actually diagnose and fix story problems. But that little piece called writing the actual freaking draft, that is where you're getting hung up on. And that requires you to give up on writing. Or at the very least, give up on the perfection idea that you're holding in your head and understand that something on the page is better than nothing on the page. And there's there's fear attached to this too, because then it's like, you know that you're not a good writer when you write 10 pages after giving up and you hate them. And then it's like, well, of course, right? This is the first time you've ever done this thing. You have to just allow yourself to get used to the process of doing that thing before we worry about winning Oscars, right? And so that's what my core challenge has been to you, and will remain, and is the core challenge to the people that I have in my course, which is that writing process is so extremely valuable, and that this sort of goal-oriented way of making sure it's hyper perfect and being so afraid of rewriting or so afraid of having to take apart your script that you only outline forever, this is not actually productive to you. Your outline is not your story. And that's something so many writers get confused on. That, you know, bullet points on a Word document about what's supposed to happen in your story is not your story. When you actually get down and you actually get into your draft, then you realize, oh wait, there's all these missing pieces in this outline that I worked on for a year. It's like, okay, well, why don't you just work on your outline for 2 weeks, and then it'll have holes just like an outline will that you spent 2 years on, and then you can write. And so as you are trying to be a writer, I would say make your primary goal getting used to the process of writing 3, 4, 5 screenplays. And then after you're used to that process, after you're used to how it feels to write a script, how it feels to write a story of any kind, really, then we can talk about the next step, problem solving, figuring problems out, fixing your script, and doing that. So if you're interested to actually finish your script, right, get a community around you of other people also finishing theirs, get clear lessons on how to build a consistent writing process and how to build your own mindset in a way that you can take away some of these mental blockers, give up on writing and just write, then click the link below this video. It will take you to a page where you can learn more about joining the Practical Screenwriting course, and you can start taking your writing seriously. I hope this video is helpful to you, and I'll see you guys next week.